neshama for them, and a strengthening for all of us.
Amen.
It's a good time and it's a hard time. Good time because it's an opportunity to be able to grow in ways that are very important, to connect with each other in very important ways, to dream and to vision and to live your vision. There was a book written by a Jewish professor at Columbia named Brian Greene, and the book is called The Elegant Universe. And then they made a PBS special of it, which is on the PBS channel, and it's divided into 24 parts that are between 6 and 10 minutes long. And in it he describes the world of quantum physics, the ideas that people are thinking, the new and expanded ideas of what the universe is, of parallel universes, etc., of deep down in the subatomic realm. One of the interesting things I'd like to bring up is that there are four main forces that hold the nucleus together. That's what they're called in physics, the four forces, which are the strong force, the weak force, which is like not very creative names, but the strong force, the weak force, the electromagnetic force, and the gravitational force. And he says that an interesting thing, and what I want to bring something out from this. So he says that as you get deeper and deeper into the subatomic world, the gravitational force becomes less and less noticeable, almost to the point that it disappears. There are a lot of other things that characterize the subatomic, but this is like, it's interesting. The gravitational force is minimized to almost zero. And so he doesn't go here, but what I want to take from this is that in the external world, in the macro world of objects, gravitation pulls down. The world that we live in, the macro world, gravitation pulls us down. Spiritually, that force, I identify it with Paro. Paro says, you can't go up. I'll make sure you don't go up. I'll make sure that you believe that you can't go up. I'll enter into your mental framework and make sure that you only believe what I tell you to believe. You want to go up? You want to go in? There's nothing real there. It's almost like, oh, I should also do that to mine. No, I didn't. It's almost like Paro wants to convince us that there's no way out of there's no exit out of his world. But that's exactly what we have to find, which is that in the deep inner recesses of our being, which parallels the subatomic reality of physics, that's where Paro has no power. That's where the gravitational force of Paro has no power. That's where Emunah, Tefillah, that's where the real things take their full form. That when you believe something, when you know something is true deep inside, Paro can't touch that. Prayer is of this quality. Prayer, and the rational mind cannot understand how prayer can work. The rational mind is incapable of understanding that there's a God, and that He answers our prayers, that He cares for us. It's a super rational idea. And so, is it real? It's very real. Emunah is an inner knowing, a deep inner belief that's very grounded. It's immun, it's faithful, it's loyal, it's stable. It's not something that flies by night. Emunah is something that you can grab onto, but not in Paro's world, but in the inner world, where the real inner meaning of reality is revealed. That's where Emunah is a tremendous place. Emunah that Hashem is taking care of us. Emunah that Hashem is the reality beyond all reality, the one who's in charge. The Borei Kol HaNeshamot, and only the Mekubalim say he's the Ma'atzil Elyon, the supernal emanator, which is even above the concept of Bria, of creation. So I wanted to touch there first, touch base, so to speak. Hashem is so deep. He's the ground of our being. You can even say God doesn't exist. He's deeper than existence. Existence is the main word in exist is X. The main letter is X. And it comes from the Latin. Every word, almost every word that I've ever found an X in is something that's brought forth from something else. Exhale, exit, extricate, extract, exodus, to bring forth something. And it's the equivalent of the Hebrew letter tzadi. Yetziah is to depart. Lahotzi is to take forth, to bring forth. And even nimsa, which is something which is found, it's only found because I didn't know where it was before. It didn't exist for me. Now it exists. Nimsa means it exists and it's found. But there's a deeper strata of existence, or not even to use the word existence, there's a deeper strata of being behind existence. And so God is. God doesn't exist. And where do we meet God? Not in the external world. The external world will always, in a sense, maybe perhaps reveal Hashem for a split second, because those are the rules that He's determined. But in the inner world, deep down world, that's where Hashem is. In the inside, that's where you have to meet Hashem. In silence, behind the words. So a lot of what I'm kind of thinking about lately is, in the last few years, is how to touch on that reality, how to know that that's the reality beyond all reality, and then to come forth from that experience into a more full way of existing in this world, of walking in this world. It's called in Hebrew, B'nai Olam Haba, child of the next world. You connect to eternity, and then you embody that as you walk in this world. And that's what basically Am Yisrael is all about. And these ideas are important to start with, because that's where the Torah comes in. The Torah is not a rational Western mind mentality text. First of all, there's no order, as we'll see in a moment. It's like there's no time sequence. You have to really have an oral tradition to figure out when things are happening. But why the Torah writes them out of order is so interesting. You can have all kinds of things that you get from it because it's written out of order. But Reish Lakish says in the Torah, in the Gemara, if the Torah would have been written in order, you could have used it to raise the dead. It was written purposely out of order in order to hide itself. The Torah comes down from a very high level. The Baal Shem Tov says that when Mashiach will come, it's the first entry in Baal Shem Tov al Torah, that when Mashiach will come, he will take every word in the Torah and show every combination what it means. So he'll do every combination of every word in the Torah, which is interesting. We don't know any meanings for any of the words, except some of them you can rearrange the letters and they have meaning, but it doesn't fit into the rest of the sentence. Well, we don't know how to do that. But he will have the secret of the code of the Torah. And not only that, he'll then put all the letters of the Torah together into one big word. This is before computers. This is like he was born in 1698. The Baal Shem Tov says the Mashiach will put all the words of the Torah together and do every possible combination of all of those letters. It's a mathematical system. The Gra himself said similarly, in his own way, he said, All is contained, all information for every creature, every human being, every